Hello and welcome back to another edition of Buy or Sell, coming to you from the No Holds Bar here at Equity Mates HQ. I am your host, Adam Keily, widely regarded as one of the simplest minds in finance. Luckily for us, I'm joined by an expert to educate me and hopefully you on how they're thinking about stocks and the stocks they're thinking about. This is not a deep dive though. We're going to rip through as many stocks as we can in the time that we've got. You can, of course, find out more about each stock that we talk about today on the Equity Mates website. So be sure to check that out for much more detailed information. But today, I am pleased to welcome into the No Holds Bar Andrew Wielandt, Director at DP Wealth Advisory. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks very much for having me, Adam. I was able just to sneak past security. Hard to believe with this baby face, but I got through and here I am.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. I gave them the heads up, Andrew. So it's lovely to have you here in the studio. Andrew, it is a tradition before we get into the stocks that we start by offering you a drink from our very well-stocked bar, the signature cocktail today. We're talking about CBA a bit later on. So the signature cocktail is the CB Aviation Gin and Tonic, a gin, of course, made famous by Ryan Reynolds and the Wrexham Football Club. Andrew, can I get you a G&T or what's your poison?
You asked me just before, had I listened to some of these episodes, which
Yes.
I had. Thank you.
Oh, good.
And Adam Dawes you had on recently, and he wanted a martini.
Yep.
He's soft, so we're certainly not going to go down the special good morning to you, Adam.
Oh, them fighting words. I love it. We're gonna have beef.
Shots fired. No, mine is it is gin,
Yep.
but it's from Four Pillars, and it
Okay.
recently just won an award. It's the barrel aged bloody, not swearing, Underhill Shiraz gin. So and you
Wow.
just have that neat.
Okay. The
So,
barrel aged bloody Underhill Shiraz gin. Is it even still a gin at this point? By the time we got to the end of the name, I feel
well, there's a few processes to get through, but Adam, if you haven't had it as yet, and this
Yep.
is obviously not an endorsement, do
Mm.
yourself a favour
Mm.
and have it. It is as smooth as
Really?
the unfinished simile. It
Yep.
is very good. Do yourself a favour.
Right.
Well worth doing.
I do feel like also that there's very few gins on the market that haven't won an award. I was at the Goolwa Caravan Park the other day, and there was a guy selling some gin, and his was award-winning as well, apparently.
Well, it
So,
depends on who it is, but in this case, it was. I'm just reading from their press release, the IWCA or the Oscars of the gin industry. So, in this particular instance, I think we can give Four Pillars a bit of credence, but yes, certainly some other awards, maybe not so much.
Sounds legit. All right, excellent. Very good. All right, let's crack on with the show. And it is a tale of two halves today for our show. We're going to start in the first half. We're going to look at some ETFs, and then in the second half, we've got a few companies to get into. So let's crack on, and we're going to start with the VanEck MSCI International Small Companies Quality ETF. Ticker ASX QSML, currently trading at $28.24. And I'm assuming this is a buy because they're quality companies, unlike the MSCI International Small Shady Operators ETF, which is a sell every day of the week. Andrew, buy for you?
It's a buy. And I was just about to say, you're having a crack at me about the name of the gin. And then you just spend about 15 minutes just reading the name of that one. But all piss-taking aside, probably can't say that.
No, of course you can. We're in the no-holds bar, Andrew. You can say what you like.
Rightio. We've only just met each other and we're getting along so well already. But in essence, small caps, this is what this ETF is about, has underperformed as a sector, has underperformed large caps over the last 3 or 4 years, in particular because tech's a thing. Mm-hmm. So we're saying to our clients, and when I do other media, that small caps is really an area you should be looking at. Lots of different small cap funds to have a look at. This one, though, basically has that quality overlay. So remember, quality, strong return on equity, increasing earnings, steady to decreasing debt. That's sort of,
So that's an actual metric. That's not just a subjective opinion of someone at VanEck saying, "I think this is a quality stock." There's actual data in that. The quality.
So when you get me back again, without being presumptuous, special good morning to you, Sophie. We can do a whole session on factors, determinants of share prices or ETFs. There's a whole lot of different factors, and one of them is quality. So quality, and without burying the lead, there's another one we're going to talk about a little bit later. For those who follow me, you'll be surprised to know which one it is. But this basically does small caps, and it has a quality overlay as well.
Right.
So, and the thing we like is that the weighting is capped at 5%. So if you've one that shoots the lights out,
Yep.
the index doesn't get overweighted. It's more not equal weighted, but it's got a limit on it. So it's not too big, $640 million. So we like it. It's a buy.
Yep. It's a buy. All right. Next up, we're looking at the Betashares Nasdaq 100 ETF. A lot of people will be familiar with this one. ASX NDQ currently trading at $45.09. Now, Andrew, I learned that condiments maker Kraft Heinz Company is number 72 in the Nasdaq 100. I thought the Nasdaq was all tech stocks. So I'm a bit confused. There's a condiments company up there with Nvidia. I guess you do need some dip with your chips. Thank you. Thanks for not
Where are you
laughing at
taking
all.
this, Adam? You've lost me already. I'm a simple guy, but you've lost me already.
Nasdaq, NDQ, buy or sell?
Yeah, look, it's a sell.
Yep.
And again, you asked for a little bit of controversy. Don't make it all the same.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a few people going to be sort of at my front door in the bar there soon with their pitchforks going, "What are you talking about? It's up 30%, you idiot."
Yeah.
Which is factually correct. But what I'd also say to you is that the PE for tech companies is demanding. It's now over 30 times. So when you're being asked to pay over 30 times, now the forecast earnings per share growth, the EPS growth, is meant to be 30% this year, forecast to be 30%. So if that's the case, happy days, ignore everything I've just said to you. But when you've had Nvidia up 140%, albeit it's fallen back the last couple of days, but up 100+% over 3 months, it's got to draw some breath. Microsoft is up in there 8%, Apple's in there at 8%. What we were just talking about before, when you've got lots of big names, concentration risk, people a bit worried about interest rates, all that sort of stuff. So I think you should be taking some profits on NDQ.
Okay, it's a sell at $45.09. Next, we're going to look at the Betashares Global Cybersecurity ETF, ASX HACK, HACK, currently trading at $11.31. Now, I've got a cybersecurity joke for you, Andrew. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Why was Forrest Gump's account hacked? Because his password was OneForest1.
Don't give up your day job, Adam. That's all I'd ask. That's all I would simply ask. Don't give up your day job.
I guarantee you later today, OneForest1 will be repeating in your head. It's one of those things you can't get out. Is hack a buy or a sell, Andrew?
I've just told you that tech is certainly fully priced, and you probably should be winding about NDQ. So logically, you'd say, well, therefore, hack is a sell.
Yep.
Wrong. Hack is a buy.
Okay.
I should also point out that I own QSML and I own Hack. As we're going through, I'll talk about the ones I own. So I actually own Hack. I'm not saying you to buy it because I own it. Cybersecurity is a thing.
It is.
It is absolutely a thing. I think about the spending here in my business is up 3-4 times over the last 3 years. There's significant money going into it. The bad guys and girls, they're all around the world. They're not sleeping. So as a consequence, there's a real demand for this. Now, it is from a earnings point of view, again, it's fully priced, but there's strong demand there. And then even from a, global geopolitical point of view, you can't tell me that, in the Middle East, they're not having a go at each other cyber-wise, or China and Taiwan, et cetera, et cetera. So certainly it's a thing. And Broadcom is certainly getting a fair bit of interest from a market perspective, as is CrowdStrike, as is Infosys, some of the bigger holdings. So no, it's a buy.
And then AI would be big in the cybersecurity space as well. So if we're looking at the AI hype and all the money pouring into AI, I guess this is AI with at least a known demand attached to it. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, to me, AI is just the sprinkling on top.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily the narrative, but it just reinforces the narrative. So, like as an example, we're just sort of going through our financial audit at the moment. And one of the questions being asked of us is a whole slew of questions is, what's your cyber like? Have you had penetration testing? All that sort of stuff. We're just a business in Toowoomba. I mean, give me a break, And if they're asking us that, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of businesses across Australia. So never mind the world. So it's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think hackers are looking into Toowoomba for businesses, Andrew. I think
no, we're off the radar. We're off the radar. Off the radar. We're getting
Uh,
electricity next week, Adam. I'll let you
oh,
know.
exciting times. Oh, welcome. Excellent. All right, Hack is a buy. Next, GlobalX physical gold, ASX GOLD gold, currently trading at $32.73, up 23% in the last year. Inflation's coming down, rates may be cutting. Is the gold rush over,
So
Andrew?
it's a sell,
It's a
again,
sell?
because we can't have holds here. Some of
No,
my other
of
media
course not.
commitments, we're lucky enough to do nibbles or tentative holds or
No,
whatever.
no. We like
But here,
conviction here.
we're on conviction mode, so you're right. It's up 23%. No yield, Adam. No dividend. So if you're stuck
Ah,
with something and it's starting to fall away, but you're still getting a dividend, where you go,
yep.
okay, at least I'm getting no dividend here. And the
Right.
other thing is that it's unhedged. So
Okay.
The Aussie battler,
Yep.
66.4 today. Long-term average is 74. So if we start creeping up towards that longer-term average, you're going to be under a bit of pressure here. Chinese central bank buying slowing.
Yep.
To your point around inflation, Australia is one of the last countries in the world where inflation isn't at target or starting to come back into target.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a sell. Take your profits. Thanks for the memories.
Very good. All right. Gold is a sell. Next, it is the VanEck MSCI. Here we go again. VanEck MSCI International Quality ETF ASX QUAL, currently trading at $57.25. Quality companies around the world except Australia. No offense to us here. I guess maybe we're in the not bad ETF perhaps, but couldn't make it into the global quality one. Buy or sell for the QUAL.
So, for my groupies out there, the ones that follow, hi, mum. Um, there's one of my favourite sayings is this is the one ETF to rule them all, Adam. This is
Really?
the one
We
ETF
can
to rule
stop the show. We just buy this one and take the rest of the day off, Andrew.
mums and dads, boys and girls. Adam, thanks very much. It's been fun. No, look, it's a cracker. And I mean, performance, it's been very strong because,
Yep.
again, you're buying quality companies. I've been doing this 27 years. I know, hard to believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I have very rarely, in fact, I'm struggling to think of one particular time where I've had a company blow up whereby they've had decreasing debt, steady earnings, increasing earnings, and a strong return on equity. These are quality businesses. So
Right.
basically, what they do is they look across the universe, 1,500 odd companies, screen it, top 300, rinse and repeat.
Yep.
And it's got some tech in there. So again, bearing in mind what I was saying about tech,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
probably one negative, but it's a ripper.
And is there overlap with the small companies quality ETF you mentioned
Oh,
earlier? Or
there is in the context that they've got a quality overlay,
right.
but these are bigger companies.
Yep. Okay.
This is, as in what we're talking about now, whereas the one
Yep.
we were talking about earlier, small to mid caps.
Yep.
Yeah, you just need to be sort of mindful that it's got the tech piece. And sorry, the other thing, Adam, is that it's unhedged. So again, if you
Right.
you want to protect yourself, QHAL would be the one to buy because it's the hedged
QHAL. Okay.
version.
Yep. Okay.
But
Very
no,
good. All right.
it's a good one.
But QUAL is a buy. All right, let's take a break here. We'll grab another gin, Shiraz, something mixer. If you've got a stock you want to hear about on the show, let me know. You can use the contact form at equitymates.com or flick me an email, contact@equitymates.com. We'll be right back after these short messages. Welcome back. You're listening to Buy or Sell, coming to you from the No Holds Bar. My expert today is Andrew Wielandt, Director at DP Wealth Advisory. Now, Andrew, we're going to start with some companies. And the first one is BHP Group, ASX BHP, currently $42.78. I was searching for news about BHP and I came across an article about a 1,775 brake horsepower Bugatti. And that was the end of my research, BHP being brake horsepower, and I just got completely sidetracked. So BHP, the company, this Bugatti actually, it had 3 electric motors in it.
Wow.
Is the latest one, has 3 electric motors, and presumably you need some copper and things that BHP might be digging up to make it. So BHP, the big Australian though, is it a buy or a sell for you?
Yeah, as soon as you said Bugatti, my mind went Legos. For those people who also know me,
Yes.
they've got the blue Bugatti.
Right.
I was lucky enough to see that in Denmark last year at Lego HQ. It is a beast.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, enough about my predilection for Lego and all things Scandi. Look, BHP is a buy.
Yep.
It tends to trade in a band of $40. That's, get on it. It's $50, super
Yep.
expensive time to bail. What are we at the moment? We're about 43 at the
42.
moment.
Yeah. 43.
To
Yep.
your point around copper, decarbonisation, electrification, to the point that's why they spun out their petroleum assets and sold that off to
Yeah. Yep.
Woodside. So it is PE of 11, which is undemanding. It's a 5.3% fully franked dividend. And consensus, you stick the 16 analysts who follow it in a room, you go, boys and girls, what do you think it's worth?
Yep.
And they say it's worth 46.99. So
Right.
I'm very comfortable buying BHP at these levels.
BHP is a buy. All right. The next one is another big company in Australia, Commonwealth Bank of Australia. People may have heard of it. ASX CBA currently trading at $127.68. Now, I did read that CBA has almost toppled BHP for top spot on the ASX as the biggest company in Australia, just a few billion behind. So based on that metric, Andrew, I'm actually nearly one of the top 10 richest people in Australia. I am just a few billion, and I'll have cracked the top 10. CBA though, Andrew, buy or a sell for you?
So I know where to come to for a loan. Look, without being Captain Obvious, it's a sell. And
Sell.
and just to be clear, it's been expensive from, well, arguably from about 110. Again, stick consensus in the room, brokers in the room. What do you think it's worth? They're
Mm-hmm.
saying it's worth $94 versus about
Right.
127 at the moment. But even like I look at the PE, so I'm being asked to pay 22 times earnings. So we just established BHP.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11 times earnings.
Yeah.
You're being asked to pay 22 times earnings for CBA. You look at the other peers, so NAB, ANZ, etc. They're trading at around 16 times, and the broader market index is 18 times. So I'm being asked to pay 20 to 30%
Right.
above the index, $30 above consensus.
So you mentioned it was a sell at 110. It's now at 127. Does that mean you would have been wrong at 110, or is it
We didn't. So I'm just saying from a valuation point of
right?
view, once
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
about
Sure.
15%, you're going, well, that's really interesting. It's probably time to start looking at it.
Yeah. Okay.
A number of our retail clients, probably from about 120 onwards, started
Yep.
ringing us up and going, what do you reckon?
Right.
Just to be clear, we're not ringing people up going, you
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to
Sure.
sell, but just valuation wise, 110, you're going, that's getting a bit exy. 120, you're going, this is ridiculous. And
Yeah.
127, one of the other things we have to think about though is the market is always right. You and
Yeah.
I might have a particular view, and one way of detecting or getting a view as to the market view is to look at the charts. If you look at the chart, it is just on a tear.
Right.
So valuation wise, it's a sell. I'm not resiling from that. I know you got your little scoreboard that you're going to measure me on. I'm saying it's a sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But from a trend following market, what's the market thinking until it starts falling over?
Yep.
It's hard to sell it on that basis. But valuation,
Yep.
super expensive. It's a sell.
All right. Excellent. CBA is a sell. Next up, we're looking at Praemium Limited, ASX PPS, currently trading at 48 cents. Andrew, are we buying Praemium or would we be paying a premium? Buy or sell?
You are dead set wasted in that day job, as I've said previously. No, Praemium. So Praemium's involved in managed accounts.
Yep.
So managed accounts used by advisors to help manage people's portfolios. It's a buy. If you have a look at how Net Wealth has performed, Hub24 has performed, Praemium has really lagged, down 26% for the year and down 7% per annum for the last 5 years. The market is not big enough for, well, there's other competitors, but three main competitors. I would be super surprised if there wasn't more consolidation in this sector.
Yep.
And certainly Praemium is in the frame from that point of view. So certainly I think it's a buy. Out of all the ones we're talking about today, though, it's probably the one that carries the most risk in the context of the volatility piece, but as an opportunity, not as exciting as some of Adam's interesting ones. Yeah, certainly Praemium should be on people's radar.
Very good. All right. Praemium is a buy. Next, we've got James Hardie Industries, ASX JHX, currently trading at $46.83. Global leaders in wall and floor building products, which is good because you don't want to put a ceiling on growth, Andrew. Buy or sell for you?
They're definitely not paying you enough, Adam.
They don't pay me at all.
Anyway,
I
moving
think
right
we found a
along.
problem here, Andrew. I got to make some calls. You mentioned ringing people to talk about sales before. I think I need to make some calls myself.
I'm sensing a trend here, my friend. Look, it's been under a little bit of recent weakness. The market didn't like its most recent update. Having said that, though, it's still up 17% for 1 year and up 20% per annum for the last 5 years.
That's
The
good.
PE, that valuation, it's now back at 16 times. Over the last 3 or 4 years, it's been at 20 times. It's basically trading at about a 20% discount to its valuation as it has been previously. We've
Yep.
also got insider buying. So we've got management and also the board, some of the board of buying shares. That's one of my sort of little tells.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a buy.
It's a buy. All right. Okay. It is now time for our last call here in the No Holds Bar. And I love this. ASX Limited, ticker ASX, currently trading at $58.49. This could be the most ironic pick we've ever had. After listing 9 stocks on the ASX, we're going to finish by selling the ASX. Andrew, ASX Limited is a sell for you?
Oh, look, I feel like such a Debbie Downer. We've had such a great show. We've discovered that Underhill Shiraz gin is a thing. There's been
We've
lots of
laughed,
beautiful
we've cried.
There's been lots of beautiful bonding. It's a bit like
Mm.
I've got a really good friend, Kate. Hello, Kate. Second
Okay.
listener. And she says to me, Andrew, nothing good happens after midnight. So, Kate,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
bang on. Here we
Yeah.
are. It's 11:59, and
Yeah.
I've rolled out ASX. This was a magic business.
Yep.
Magic business. And it had an amazing moat, and they have just absolutely stuffed it. Absolutely
Right.
stuffed it. Not only on the technology piece, chess, but they've now got, on top of that, really significant competitive pressure from Chi-X, which has been bought by the Chicago Board of Exchange. I was lucky enough to go there in 2018. It is an impressive building, an impressive organisation. You don't want them as a competitor. So at a time where they can't seem to figure out what their own business is doing, they've actually got significant competitive pressure. That chess rollout has just been an absolute shambles, and they've burnt significant shareholder funds. Tell us how you really feel, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I love it.
3% for 1 year, down 3% per annum for 5 years. You'd be better off sticking your money into a term deposit 5 years ago versus giving them your money. Because, Adam, what's the whole idea of the share market? It's an opportunity to find good businesses.
Right.
This is not a good business. This is a sell.
This is a sell. ASX is a sell. Well, you heard it here first. Andrew Wielandt, thank you so much for joining me in the No Holds Bar. That does it for us for today. Where can people find and follow more of your hot takes like the ASX?
Well, certainly probably visit our website, allthews.dp.net.au. Otherwise, I'm on.
Have you got a newsletter or something like that, or?
We don't want to encourage people, Adam. Only joking. Love to have a chat. I'm lucky enough to do a couple of other media things.
Yeah.
And some of those people are kind enough to ring me, email me, whatever. If you want to do that, look me up on the website, send me a message. That'd be perfect.
Great.
Otherwise,
excellent.
Peace out.
Peace out. Oh, mic drop to finish and everything. I love it. All right. Well, don't forget you can continue the journey on the Equity Mates website. There's plenty of resources there. You'll find the buy or sell tracker for this show, along with the Find a Company page where you can get more information on each of the companies and stocks we've talked about today. But that does it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget you can find us on YouTube as well. I hope you'll join me next time when we jump back into the No Holds Bar. But until then, it is bye for now.
Equity Mates.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.